Yes, our technical guys are working on it. Mami Ivan, quickly for the last words. Na yefa Jumedino Embra Niwie. Ivan.
Yeah, Ajadim. Ya kanchire Ghana for ne mpanimfo a ene omo ewo access to the political stage and you know. So the rules of engagement so far as politics are concerned, as it used to be like 10 years ago, no, it's different from the stage we find ourselves in now.
Sure.
And respect is a virtue that we earn. And gray hair ain't enough warrant. Say manyini ma no respect me. It is only your deeds, your conviction, nema obeye, and then I ever make respect because at this stage. People are looking up for something, expectation from the old age, you know. So when we have characters like Katie Yamon and Esilousua and Co., always when they take the stage, they display nothing but a hostile mix of arrogance and boundless ignorance. That's what they do. You will not expect the average and the ordinary Ghanaian to respect you back. Because the way he spoke, you know, say anya say obehu nanim so na eto na say wote no radio so abadwen say akra na ekasa but obekom no apanyina wanyina watena parliament for several years. Then somebody was asking, say, how come these guys got into parliament? My culture say those politics na ya aba no and give recognition to wit, intellect or whatever a stage na ya bo NDC MPP nti wunamu ebeti aba sa wunamu wunim nyansa sabi. But enam sa wo sika na wo influence within a constituency no obetimi anamu aba parliament or kwa na man kotenetenemu sa nothing changes. But the rules of engagement so far as politics is concerned has changed. The ordinary and the average Ghanaian are socially conscious, politically awakened, and they are becoming enlightened due to the new media. Enti say we a leader o babo ntia be kasa esa wo dwene huhu wan kasa wo bisa ho say asema be beka eyenyansa sem na me beka na meka what will be the reaction of the critical masses out there? How are they going to react? And sana wakasa, because at this stage when you are talking, people are not considering the fact that when we are president, when you know about you say platform, when I am a Tusala and so forth, it is about through number. Homakacho say old age has absolutely nothing to do with wisdom because of a Bible na Matusala, yes, you ya eboroso. But nyansa sembie no Bible ma ya link it to Matusala. Yes, we did verse 33. What I say. So age has absolutely nothing to do with your friends are wisdom. It is about what you can do. So more use age as a trump card, as an incentive for Mudia Hunaya Kruman. And the youth are out there say you are respecting over the years. Politics and the share Monsano, nothing seemed to be working. The year who want to say politician in Yesika talk out to V8 near say Marco Gobuchire or Yaria. Then they go for medical care. When we have a crumbling medical infrastructure here. Hospitals are not working. Among 4 years school to even job incentives so at politics now by say an avenue for few misguided, twisted minds or multiple connive through political parties to capture political power. And when they get out there, then they save themselves. They go, another group will come save themselves and go. And the average and the Ghanaian youth is enlightened, socially conscious, and they're looking at say politics now. What is it that is in the interest in the saying, who is considering my interest? It is not about those your friend is saying unreasonable partisan affinity and media chin emotionally, no, the NDC emotionally, we are the MPP, no one crying. The game has changed. Politics, may say, sorry, any of the emotions are yet. Always it must be what you are getting, because the entire politics is about how I realign, reallocating the national resources. That is what you do. So at any point in time, if politics is never serving your interest, you have no business going out there throwing respect to people. Respect is earned. It's not something that we sell out there and you go and pick them. So Katie Hammond and his likes must get this into their head. And that a primitive way of thinking, say, Mrantier in your politics and it's a reserve for the aged. No, that particular thing it belongs to the Stone Age. You're consigning those things out there, and the stage is for those who have wit, who have intellect, and who will be able to take bold decisions to help us flip the page, especially Abraham Kokrafo ya idea so mo say fortunately for them your president didn't fear say na advisor or didn't fear say your friend say Osafo has been around for decades ne some fa so obi anya bi o make catch say youth no bi esku amanfo ani into aban so say aban be create adwuma ma he went to your friend say campaign aban adwuma and oko create job na odin the ma akwahye ho such person have moral justification to be walking around kromane from one nabo you see that sense you know of awakening nya beduru ba bia we will begin to see you as who you really are, not a package character now. You are the political stage. So they should go back to the thinking room and take that thinking cap. Leadership isn't about say me drive V8 and I'm a talker and I'm a sit down. It is about what you have to offer. Say be able to mitigate the challenges. And it's a wake up call to our traditional leaders. And so for anybody, I'll hold position of influence. Me say being popular without power to influence change is useless. So any position of influence will be use it as an instrument to ensure say we are able to impact positively on the society, but not to use it as an avenue to rape and take your friend say advantage of the situation, just like we've been doing over the years. Nipa no benya tumia no aye ne hoye as say makwa buchire na de bia ye, then the majority and the masses continue living an impoverished your friends a world that nothing seemed to be coming their way. And none of the what was President who ye ever function as no, and you have to forborn on mother man. Oh, yes, because I'm telling you, Ajenim, if you understand the level of economic desperation, the damage that has been done to this particular country and its economy by Akufo-Addo and his cohort of family cabal no more, they say the mother year to forborn, and it is up to them to go to the room and think. And as all those sycophants, no more trying to wish you more kind of buyer. It is about time I'm buy you especially more yeti or more casting into a buying for your council of state, huge sums of money at total car mobile and daily basis. Decisions every executive room no banner, and they will begin to ask yourselves a council bank and the other man buying. That's a mutunu for say or on fire. Then what is the point staying your position and we are paying you? Is it the money that you're interested in? I think we need to demonstrate with wisdom, courage, and certain things. So respect and make us say, no, I want any free. But you sit somewhere and expect when you need to respect you. I'm say, Sabia, soon the whole team that will not come. You need to demonstrate and live a life about draw natural that respect, and to you.
Ivan, che innocent. Whether was an officer or Becca, yes, sir. I should for Miss Meda was to say, Unya bre o jembre na oni enchoche in komo ene anope.
Katie Yaman. I think say you can say obi a leader, and I say when you hold a sensitive position like being a member of parliament and then I say for no man, you are supposed to demonstrate civility and at least okasa some decorum must be accommodated. Sabi a man for who say, oh indeed, we are paying. But you get it to a level where panimfua you entrust a part of the estate to them, to their care. We've given them all that it takes to ensure that challenges are addressed, Begin to talk like Sebi it's a bit frustrating because we had a reaction now, corner. Was it you to know Afum? Because they booed at the president, which to me, the reaction was to a certain extent is a bit justifiable relative to the kind of economic situation I had at home. It is a youth to know Afuma. Penny coming from that particular background, it is assumed that at least you are a bit enlightened, you are a bit civil as compared to youth now who say omutie coconut, So you are supposed to demonstrate certain sense of civility, just to tell them say that is not the way to react. But a Penny no banner talking in a reckless fashion, just like he did. To the extent that any Penny cast, I don't know if they know or no when I west. But I'm telling you, say, and he went ahead to say, Ghana or mine, you to no kasa. Now, baby, we are Sabah, say, ye giant mine, they say you to no, sir. They can't do anything. And they don't even know anything about administration. That's what I'm saying, sir. We are still dealing with folks like analog leaders in a digital world. They are still stuck in that medieval stage. I'm afraid, say, we are penina, that is enough for you to lead, and that is it. Whether you have wisdom, whether you have intellect, whether you have wit, whether you have what it takes to calibrate whatever the machinery will be able to. The fact that penina me wo emi wo mitiswa quite in there, that is enough, and that is the kind of your friend is saying mentality as some of these people have. He's telling you, say you to know and knew what it takes to fix this particular country. But go to the global arena where the world has evolved. Leadership, my culture said at this point, you know, it's an art, a fine art. That as time goes on, no, you can make it better, infuse a lot of ingenuity and other stuff. So countries have gone to the extent of bringing in a lot of youth to man various administrations. Go to the world stage, you find people who are 35 years as president, you find 29 as president, you find 32. Go to countries, big countries like Australia and other places. Sensitive positions are being entrusted to the care of young folks, because you see, at that age, you know, you are able to do a lot of things, take risks, take decisions. You are able to do a lot of things. So I think that being young, and as being a younger person, you know, and yet disincentive so as far as government and administration is concerned. But it's unfortunate that yeah, part of the world, you know, and I yet Nicky say, oh, so these are primitive standards we've set for the society. But when you talk about leadership, it has absolutely nothing to do with who has money or who has many houses and stuff. It is about having the mind. The last time I was telling you about this young guy, I'll be a US president, I'm friend say Obama. Ade Obama, they wore Americans a fine speech and how he was able to express himself. I'm going to say, there is something in this guy. People were not asking about the many houses at our Miami or many properties at our. It is about the depth of his intellect, the knowledge, and the fact that he will be able to profess alternative that will be able to address the many challenges America is facing. Macron is a young guy. These are things that you look at for. But we live in an environment that we are still consumed by primitive sentiments, and we think that ansana obi yade to me better and just a when you know about deciding and so forth. But we've forgotten about the many challenges that even come with old age. We through old age, those of us, I told you I specialized in mental health. The Friday be senile dementia and a whole lot of challenges. There are some become delirious, some just like omulusu touch with the reality. And I think that is the point we are. The many old folks we have assembled to run this particular country, you know, many of them have lost touch with the reality. That is why sometimes problem no bar. The answer no mama addressing the challenges, you know, but when I are off bar. What I said. Problem now, the ordinary person, even the kindergarten, no say I dear way there, and see and see and but penina when you they did to me and Shannon. The way a manner he's talking, what's here now with Yamashi, when they will begin to ask yourselves, I cry like Casa and Penny, but we come near Penina Sebi when you know who the sensitive position. So I don't know our community into the kind of frustration you see in the youth, or more Casa the way people are talking, because I'm telling you. Politics in Accra 2000, politics in Accra 2004, politics in Accra even 2020 is different today. Those days, you know, the narrative was reserved for few guys in the traditional media and certain individuals, self-acclaimed political activists and whatever, because of the obedience in radio. So they try to control the narrative in the way that will look good for whichever government that is in power. If it is NDC, you become NDC for any other say yes, yeah, you mama, I MPP, yeah, kama, yeah, you mama. So behind the scenes, they go for their cut. But the new media has ballooned the platform. The interface is large. That is why if you go to various social media platforms, there are people putting up various platforms, trying to whichever way, whether you think they are doing right or wrong. You know? It's a form of enlightenment because I think what is key at this point is being able to enlighten majority of our folk. Because it's one of the reasons I don't because of lack of information. I don't want to talk about illiteracy because where we are is a challenge. And say to me, I may people and people become enlightened. I think the many challenges you face in this in the MPP opposed to us, we'll be able to address them because I keep telling people that if you go to the United States of America, they have 2 political parties, UK 2 political parties, and there are other larger economies. All they know is 2 major political parties, but because they have enlightened civil minds out there who will subject power wielders to critical and intellectual scrutiny. At the end of the day, you know, so what stand who you stand for power? You may be say we are kindly and as we are tenny and as we are vote any. They will look at what you have, what you can offer. So you do that particular stage now. So people will not look at the fact that you account for and they will look at him, his policies, his measures, some of the initiative or the other. Now say minor. That will be the only thing that will inform our political choices. You do that level. I'm telling you, sir, the system will reset by itself. System will never click it to its default position. That is why I prioritize political education and political enlightenment over any other considerations. Young political party, young saying as a form Ghana solution, you know, and young political party as a more. It is about enlightening the people because so what political party now for Jesus by the president that he's coming to rule the same folk. The mentality, the psyche is sick. So why don't you try to recalibrate or reset the psyche? Not Ghana ni conscious and obvious. Then they approach politics from a very rational perspective. It is no emotions attached, no partisan affinity and affiliation, no your friends say tribal and ethnocentric centric affinity, some kind of consideration be but pure policies. Initiative there now offer there never bomb there never bomb. See you do that stage, you will get to where we are. But we continue to rely on folks like K.T. Hammond and Asafo who have outlived their usefulness within this political space, but they are there because they are clutching on to the straws of NDC MPP. They are popular within the party. Going forward, and I think said, let us begin to arm people who have what it takes to lead, not because any panel, not because any panel say. Just look out for certain qualities in an individual. Now, army or more, every stage, it doesn't matter where the person belongs to across the your friends say across the political divide or the kind of ideological you will be any panel will be no. See, you put competent people at various positions. Trust me, you better get a result. That is what we need to do so that we will move over and I say beyond characters like K.T. Hammond and as a former outlive or more usefulness. I'm not sure it is important to waste time on them because you know when it came to the dress shape, so you're on a content committee and so I think that those people you need to ignore them.
Okay, yeah, sure. What happened there? No, couldn't the president have seen say maybe I'm and as a state protocol, national security, and man pick intelligence, maybe a president.